Another excuse for that leaked audio tape that appeared to capture him showing off classified material to people without security clearances. A lot of people saw that audio as him admitting to a crime. But in an interview with Fox News Digital yesterday, the former president professed his innocence and accused the media, even Fox, of conspiring against him. Here's a portion of that leaked tape from August of 2021, followed by Trump's defense yesterday.
Wait a minute, let's see here.
Yeah.
I just found, isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case, you know. Except it is like highly confidential, secret. This is secret information. This was done by the military, given to me. I think we can probably, right?
I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to try to figure out a
See, as president, I could have declassified it. Now I can't, you know, but this is classified.
Now we have a problem.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
I had a whole desk full of lots of papers and mostly newspaper articles, copies of magazines, copies of different plans, copies of stories having to do with many, many subjects. And what was said was absolutely fine and very, very perfectly. We did nothing wrong. This is a whole hoax. We had a lot of papers stacked up. In fact, you could hear the rustle of the paper, and nobody said I did anything wrong other than the fake news, which, of course, is Fox, too.
Later in the day, Trump altered his defense once again in a conversation with reporters from Semaphore and ABC News. The former president claimed the plans he was referring to on the leaked tape were related to his real estate properties, not U.S. military plans for a potential attack on Iran. He told the journalist, quote, "I would say it was bravado, if you want to know the truth. It was bravado. I was talking and I was just holding up the papers and talking about them. But I had no documents. I didn't have any documents. Did I use the word plans? What I'm referring to is magazines, newspapers, plans of buildings. I had plans of buildings, you know, plans. I had plans of a golf course. I'm sorry. It's, Willie, he had me at, you could hear the rustle of the papers, of the Iran plans.
I mean, he has such contempt for his voters, or maybe just assumes they haven't heard the tape, to suggest that what he calls explicitly on that tape from Bedminster 2 summers ago, a Defense Department document says, sometimes you just have to laugh at the absurdity. It's plans, excuse me, for a golf course. It's plans for one of the buildings that I've been working on. He also had, Mika, yesterday in one of his interviews, a bit of a self-affirmation, telling himself that he's a legitimate person. Let's listen.
You're not concerned then with your own voice on those recordings?
My voice was fine. What did I say wrong on those recordings? I didn't even see the recording.
Are there any other recordings that we should be concerned of?
I don't know of any recordings that you should be concerned with, because I don't do things wrong. I do things right. I'm a legitimate person.
There's an element, John, of Stuart Smalley there, looking in the mirror, saying, I'm good enough, people like me, saying, I am a legitimate person. But
I don't do things wrong. I do things right. I'm a legitimate person.
Yeah, but it also speaks to the impunity with which he has operated with his supporters, especially for the last several years, which is, I can just say that these were plans for a golf course or for one of my buildings, despite what's explicitly on the tape, and they'll buy it.
Yeah, and that the quote that Mika read there about the plans, the buildings, he seemed like it was an evolution as he was talking. Yeah. He was like, wait, building plans, wait, golf course. Ah, that's what it was. I mean, it's nonsensical, and you're right. It shows a lack of respect for the people who have followed him this far, that he feels like he can just say anything and they will believe it. And polling suggests he's not altogether wrong.
Exactly.
And a lot of people do, and a lot of Republicans, elected officials, important figures will follow him too. And whether they actually believe it or not, they'll profess that they do in order to not anger him or anger his voters. He's lived, for the most part, a political life of no consequence. He can get away with whatever he wants. He did lose an election, but of course the story there is he actually didn't, and that people believe that too. And what's so different right now is that he faced legal challenges, and where there are courtrooms where there will be consequences. He can't just talk away.
And Katty K, we'll get into the details of this Speaker McCarthy story a little bit later in the show, but it's a case in John's point, which is he dared step out and kind of in a sideways way perhaps criticized Donald Trump's chances of winning the 2024 election, and then had to quickly clean up the mess and scramble, and by some reports called Donald Trump to apologize. It just speaks to, no matter whether he's telling the truth, which is a rare occasion, or pretending that a classified document is golf course plans, that he's protected by all the people around him.
Yeah, the McCarthy story is fascinating. He's in this kind of... there is nobody's shoes I would want to be in less than McCarthy's shoes at the moment in Washington, having to field off kind of, you know, from all of his members who want to show that they are loyal to Trump, and having to kind of tamp down all of those revolts in his own party at the moment. But I was struck, like John, about it's almost like he's thinking in real time. Maybe they were building plans. No, that doesn't quite sound right. No, okay, so let's go with golf plans. And there's a question mark after those building plans. He hasn't really decided. He's thinking in real time, what's my latest defense going to be? But you watch that Fox News interview, and we've only got the transcript of the ABC Semaphore one, but it's pretty low energy. I mean, to coin a phrase from Mr. Trump himself, I mean, he's not fighting there. He's not got his usual bombastic, I'm absolutely right. There just seems to me, if you were to read the body language around that interview, that seemed to me somebody who was aware of the kind of problems they were in and was kind of scrambling around for answers and excuses.